Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more figures from the Build-A-Weapon series, and in today's review I've got another character from Star Wars Rebels to give you a look at. Today we're going to take a look at this guy, the fifth brother Inquisitor. Now I'm really excited about this figure. Wasn't a huge fan of the character in the series. Like with Captain Rex, who I previously reviewed, he was hyped up to be a really key player in the series, or in Season 2 at least. But he just didn't pop up all that often, and he met a rather untimely end in the Season 2 finale. So, could have played a better role, could have been a cooler character, but in terms of design and in terms of an action figure, this is a really, really good one, and I definitely recommend it. So before I jump into the review, if you want to purchase this guy for yourself, he is available via the link in the video description, which as always will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk. But at the time of filming this review, this guy's in stock and available to buy, so don't hesitate, pick him up and get him to hunt down all your Jedi figures. So before we get a look at the figure itself, let's take a look at the packaging that he comes in. Once again, we do get the standard Build-A-Weapon packaging design for this figure. We have Kylo Ren featured prominently at the top there with the regular Star Wars logo just at the side. Below that we have some very cool artwork of the fifth brother Inquisitor in action. And on the back of the box we have a rundown of the Build-A-Weapon feature, as well as some of the other figures available in the Build-A-Weapon line. As you can see, these figures are a part of the space mission theme, so once you collect all of these three figures you can assemble the Build-A-Weapon parts. Now this is actually the first theme from the Build-A-Weapon series that I've completed. I've picked up every figure from this one, so I have completed this piece, and I'll give you a look at that in my final review from this series, which will be Admiral Akbar, so stay tuned for that one. So that is the packaging that this guy comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Before we do, obviously, let's take a look at the Build-A-Weapon piece itself. Again, a questionable design, not something that we see the fifth brother Inquisitor use in the Star Wars Rebels series, but once it's combined with some of the other parts, I've got to say this is actually quite a cool one. So despite being a rather cheesy, rather lame gimmick, some of them work better than others, and it's nice to see some of these later waves improving in terms of quality of these Build-A-Weapon pieces. So that is the Build-A-Weapon piece itself. So enough about that, let's take a look at the figure. And here he is. Once again, very, very cool character design. A little bit of trivia for you. The fifth brother Inquisitor is actually based on rejected concept art for the villain in Star Wars The Force Awakens. Now, I'm not 100% sure whether this concept design was to be used for Kylo Ren or Supreme Leader Snoke, but either way, it was rejected, it wasn't used in the final film, and it made its way into the editing room of Star Wars Rebels, and it eventually became the fifth brother Inquisitor. So a cool little bit of trivia there for you. And again, it's a very cool design. I really like the look of this guy. Love his, his flat top hat. Love his armour. Just love the figure all around. The character design is very cool, and it really translates rather well into action figure form. Now I'll run through articulation for you first, and then we'll touch base on some of the details of the figure. Obviously he features a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders, although this bulky chest armour does restrict some of that movement sadly. He also has swivels at the hips as well. Now what I really like about the Inquisitors in the series, at least the male Inquisitors, is the fact that they have a uniformed look. As you can see, in terms of his design, he does share some striking similarities with the Grand Inquisitor from Season 1, in the sense that you've got this sort of Imperial uniform underneath all the armour, and then you've got these leg armour pieces attached to the side. You've got this really big bulky chest armour as well, and of course that double-bladed lightsaber with the spinning hilt, which again seems to be a uniformed weapon across the Inquisitors. So that's really, really cool to see. Nice little bit of consistency there in terms of design. As you can see, there are some really nice details on this figure. Not only is the head sculpt very, very cool and fairly accurate to how he appears in the series, the paint applications could have been a little bit better, there could have been a little bit more detail applied there, but in terms of overall lightness, it's really well done. As you can see, you've got this really nice gloss finish to the armour, which looks fantastic, and you've got the Imperial cog emblems printed on either shoulder as well. You've also got this really cool sculpted ornate decoration on the torso, which looks really, really nice. And there's some great detail on the lightsaber hilt, which, like with the Grand Inquisitor, sadly doesn't spin. My only real drawback with this figure is the fact that the lightsaber blades are very thin. As you can see, they're very thin, very brittle, and I'm really scared of breaking these. So if you do pick up this figure for yourself, do be careful with this one. Don't be too rough with it, as those probably will be prone to snapping at some point. But other than that, it's a great figure. You know, I'm really happy to have this one in the collection. And one of the other things I really like about it is the fact that it's massive. He's a really, really tall figure, definitely closer in scale to Darth Vader or Chewbacca, as opposed to, I don't know, Ahsoka or Kanan. Very tall character, very tall figure, and really nice and in keeping with the rest of the characters in the line. So scale is really good, and the rest of the figure is really nice as well, and definitely a recommended one. So if you want to pick this guy up for yourself, be sure to check out, as always, the link in the video description. And I hope you've enjoyed this review, and I'll be back with many more figures from the Build a Weapon series very, very soon. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.